Or
Is using the H word abusive chat? Is it abusive cast? We're going to BOE! Going to BOE, GLuck's pick. Time for the Relic. Time for the Genji draft. Or are they going to pick Hanzo finally, GLuck? Are they going to see the light? Look.
it has to happen, you know?
The more handsome of the Shimada brothers. He's got facial hair. Okay.
Yes.
It's time. It's time to go down that path. It's time to see the power of Scatter Arrow shot into those places. Isn't it kind of funny that on BOE, it's almost like they built it for Hanzo like years before? Because there's those little spots right next to every Immortal spawning location where it's perfect for hitting a perfect Scatter Arrow. Wow, it's like it was made for him. It was like it was his destiny to play on this map. And they're going to pick Genji over that? I don't think so. I hope not, GLuck.
Maybe it's...
Or maybe it was their destiny to tilt me, okay, even further.
Well, things change in life over time, Wolf, and I think that maybe one adjustment they made after after their match against KSB actually didn't end up doing anything. Didn't really help at all with the long sustain fight. They didn't really have the theme together to have that sustain. Maybe if they want to pull that once again, go for that long team fight. Make sure your opponent goes back to the fountain and makes that long rotation instead. Let's see if they did their homework and can actually complete that kind of a draft in this one. If they are able to grab that Genji, of course.
Given the amount of discussion coming into most of these drafts, Relic also wants to make sure that Tempest can't hear what he's talking about. I'm kidding, but he was covering his mouth a little bit there. The amount of discussion that goes into all these first bans for GLuck leads me to believe that they actually think about all possibilities for what they're going to do in second rotation every time. I think they've already decided for every possibility. Maybe Relic doesn't have the decision for what happens if Tempest locks in Probius Nova right now, but any normal situation, they're prepared.
Let's see, Hanzo Genji. Do you want to give a? Do you want to give that Genji away to Relic? Okay, they have the chance now. They have both actually. But this seems familiar what GLuck tried to do with the Medivh. If they don't take Medivh here, or they may not have the chance to ban it. I think this can be actually the first Medivh game with the Tempest. And I was thinking a little bit during the break time why Tempest is doing the role swap. I think it may be related to them playing Medivh potentially.
Yeah, Good was always a strong Medivh. Leave Dami in the top lane, have Good on the Medivh. Makes sense.
Just reaching a little bit, but
I think GLuck is considering the Sonya Medivh here instead of the Genji. A lot of discussion here, but I can't claim to know what they will do, but I will tell you that they have picked Genji on this map every time. They have destroyed the healing well at the center, and that's why we call that strategy the Relic. But
Hanzo!
Also ETC in first rotation. Very interesting. What does that mean? Maybe that's kind of a countermeasure to potential Medivh play, because we've seen ETC do very well against the portals. I mean, I'm reaching with this one, but they don't have an Uther.
This must
they
be
could try
something.
to tank lock Sign, I guess.
I don't think that's the case. I think this really hints us a lot. They have something else. They have the entire draft completed in their mind. They have a theme, so they want to hide their later picks. That's the only way. That's the only reason why they have ETC up there, because kind of soft counter against an Entangle from Malfurion, leave Genji open also, and you're not pairing up with Uther. And they picked Sonya this time, but Tempest had a chance to actually pair that up with Genji. Uther Genji was possible. Malfurion, never mind. I'm really going out of my mind right now.
That's alright. No. But if in another circumstance, if Malfurion wasn't picked, say they picked I don't know, an Anubrak or something like that, your entire analysis is still correct. For GLuck, it's a tough ban now. They picked the ETC. They can only ban one tank, and they can't steal a tank away from Tempest. They can't trick them here because there were no tank bans before. So I think this is a tough call. I think a safe ban would be to ban the Li Ming, Right? You basically saying like you have to dive, your dive has to work, or that you have no poke.
Or Milky Way if he feels threatened by Garrosh, which is a soft counter by ETC, Garrosh. But in this case, Tyrael, because it pairs up really well with the Genji and Sonya.
Uther ban was obvious, but the support pool here is basically Rhaegar or Rhaegar. Now that the Uther is banned. They could also pick Rhaegar.
Stukov.
Alternatively, yeah, maybe Stukov, but another option is Rhaegar.
Lily?
No. That's only for Hero League games where that guy didn't buy any supports.
Yes, that is so true.
He bought Lily so he could play Hero League because she was only 2,000 gold, but like... And everyone yelled at him, so he was like, and he hovered Lily, and everyone's like, no, actually, I'll play support. He locks in Lily, it's too late. Malthael, quite strong against the Sonya here. Wow!
Double
Karazim,
support!
we forgot about Karazim. Double support Hanzo.
Vala, it seems like a Vala pick. Very obvious, but Tempest can't really... Actually, they can pick up Vala if they want to. But
Tempest?
does not really pair up well with the Malfurion.
It's tough. Vala pairs well with the Malfurion in one way because his Innervate is going to give her more Qs and is going to not only in cooldown reduction but also because of the mana, like she can Q more often. I'm wondering about the solo laner now for GLuck because if they pick Maiev here, God, I keep saying that. If they pick Malthael.
Oh, Malthael. So many M heroes.
Yeah. If they pick Malthael,
okay,
then they can win the race so easily. They have some counter dive with that as well. ETC is so good at stopping a Genji from coming in, Sonya from coming in. A Nubarak, very difficult to execute. If you can get onto the Hanzo and hit him with the Cocoon, it removes all the damage. Well, that's easier said than done. They're just going to take the Blaze for further more defensive posture here. So...
have that crown onto Hanzo. As a solo DPS, make sure Karazim can actually soft counter or Leemings. Kind of like Tracer. Very low on HP, so Karazim does a lot of damage onto solo target. Works well.
I think that the draft of GLuck is really experimental, really dangerous.
Yes.
But in theory, it can work. My concern about it is the laning phase, though, and control of the mercenaries. When it has to be the attacker, when it has to fight for neutral camps, for example, protect against gank attempts. Again, Sonya matchup is going to be a lost one. When they are losing both the top neutral camp and the bottom neutral camp because they can't win the laning matchup, that's when things can get out of control. You can end up losing the Hanzo before you can get set up. They can't attack, they can't contest with this draft against the Anub'arak, against the Sonya, Genji. But if they get into position on the Immortal, where everyone's at full health, nothing bad happened before the Immortal phase, if they can do that, it's going to be very difficult for Tempest to win those.
Yes, that's exactly what GLuck is trying to do with the double support. ETC counter by Leeming, big time mosh pit, insta-cancelled. Unless Leeming's inside the mosh, of course. Blaze, Bunker, a good tool, but against that entangling root can be very painful right after. So they have the sustain with the double support. That's something else they brought here with the Karazim and Auriel.
They're going to 5-man top, which is really interesting, because they want to win this laning phase even harder, and obviously 4-man is not going to do as much, and this comp is just not as good at bursting down the wall. They're going to get it, they're going to catch up here, but it's, you know, it's slow going at the moment.
Double support sustain and Malfurion sustain. So far, double support is doing a better job, I would say. But 4-men push onto the fort, of course, with Sonya and a Hyde not really providing all the heals.
So what I think Tempest is doing this for is because it's going to be a trade, right? A trade they slightly win. But also, after this happens, they're going to switch back to the normal 4-man. And then because they're gonna win the laning phase, they will.
They're not leaving.
Oh my god.
Or race?
Well, I don't think that's actually gonna happen. I think they are gonna leave.
Yeah, very likely.
But now when we switch back, because of the laning phase mismatch for GLuck that we were talking about, they're gonna have a problem. Like, this is what I'm talking about. They can't contest this. Like, GLuck's comp is bad at contesting this. Like, really bad. So Tempest really understands that. They're gonna come over here. They're like, oh yeah, Nubrock, I saw my cooldowns by the way. So probably don't want to come in here. Oh, stunned. Do get in Milky Way to a good spot though, good power slide, and Tempest is gonna have to potentially leave here. Tempest is gonna have to leave the stun. Okay.
Amazing damage comes in. There's a power slide, Milky Way. Face melt, not the follow.
Donnie, why did he turn around? Did he take War Paint? No, he didn't even take War Paint, so he didn't even get any healing for that auto attack. That was probably just a misclick or something. Ariel and ETC got so many stuns there. Huge power slide and the charge from Blaze. Because Tempest didn't respect that, and they also retreated, but only halfway. So half of the heroes that have mobility abilities got away. The rest of them were stuck in there and then just got totally smashed. Had they stayed and fought, I think they would have had a really good shot at winning this. There were also some other mistakes, like Nubrock used his shield before the contest happened for some reason too. There were a lot of weird things that I was looking at really close in that fight, but
and AoE healing from Ariel really helped GLuck in that.
Yeah.
In that camp fight.
I almost want to say I'm wrong about these camp fights, but I really agreed with Tempest. I really thought this was a perfect move. I thought there was no way that GLuck could contest that.
I think now they have lots of AoE control with CC Chain, ETC Blaze. We know that CC Chain since part number 1, ever since Blaze was out there. Hanzo, they got that long range poke and also go in for the basic attack when he has a chance. Karasim doing the dash extra damage actually can pick up the kill in lots of the cases also.
Well, look at what happens when Hanzo gets into position to hit this Immortal. He's going to have to get there, and even though they had an advantage before this started, he's unable to do so. But when he does get there, it's going to be a really hard time for Tempest to contest. However, while we have this neutral exchange, Dami can go take this camp solo, and they can just keep poking with Li Ming, so they actually take a lead. Only a few hundred, like 700 hit points of a lead, but another orb hits at max range, and eventually they're starting to win this. They need to be more confident to send Genji over, or sorry, send Hanzo over to start hitting this with arrows.
They can't. They can't just send Hanzo. They're lacking damage. Their entire comp is designed to protect Hanzo. It's their main source of damage, also damaging heroes and the Immortal. So they're slowly rotating to make sure Hanzo has the angle. But in the meantime, Sonya got the camp. Li Ming's doing the poke damage, so they have to question themselves, what do we exactly want to do right now?
Well, Nubrock with all these CCs, that's a dead ETC, and I said when they get into position, watch what Hanzo could do. They never could, because their comp can't dive, their comp can't attack, like you said. And even with Sonya gone, even with Sonya in the top lane, taking that camp and pushing the wave, just could not do it. Couldn't 5v4. They were not confident enough to make that initiation with the ETC. When they actually did go for that ETC initiation, Nubrock got the multi-stuns. They did a lot. Sonya's just going to go get that free EXP down here bottom. Because of the dead fort, it's just it's zero risk experience right now. And then they're going to rejoin the Immortal. Look for a free fort. Heavily shielded, Li Ming for the pokes. Not looking good for GLuck, G. They're not looking good for GLuck, GLuck. A lot of G's in that sense.
GLuck needs some GLuck here as they do have some CC. Glad they have Hanzo and they hit 7, so Scatter Arrow will be helping a lot. But that's the only source of damage though. They don't have any other poke unless Relic really dives in. He's going in, try to do some damage. Lockdown is poking in. Not really finding any kills, but they get the fort. They get what they want.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. That's almost certainly going to guarantee them level 10. So how does GLuck maintain positional advantage in the next Immortal phase? That's the question we don't know the answer to yet, but it's something that they're going to have to look for, because Overlord did almost 0 damage to the Immortal in that last exchange because Tempest was threatening all the time, and Tempest had Li Ming, so GLuck's on a timer because Li Ming can just poke it down. If they don't have Li Ming, then it's kind of a weird situation. It's almost a stalemate where the soul laners go off and then there's a lot of poking and it takes forever, but Li Ming changes that, puts a clock onto GLuck, and they went in with the ETC, got stunned by the Anubarak, and now they're down half a level.
They're putting Hanzo into too much work. Just finished the quest, so we'll be having that power spike now. Somewhat available from now on. They have to sustain, but they have to fight for a long time. They want to win this fight.
Yeah, and obviously no win if Overlord dies. He has to stay alive. Rotating away. That was really cool. It delays a lot of opportunities for Tempest to get 10 first, or use that advantage they have. Just avoiding fighting Tempest at the moment.
Am I the only one getting kind of dizzy? From everything moving, from the observing moving?
Yeah, the observing is a little bit slidey today, shall we say. I know what you mean. Alright, Anubarak only getting the Sun to Saron this time. They will steal the camp with the 10. GLuck respects. But the problem for GLuck now is just like last the Immortal phase, they could not get into position to use scatter arrows to race it. Like KSV Black has shown, like Ballistics has shown on this map so much success with. And Tempest just has this advantage with 10, so they're just going to rush down half time. And then they could just poke with the defensive setup they're going to have with Li Ming. They could just poke and chunk it down. This forces GLuck to attack, and their comp is not good at that. Just like last time. Already
down to halftime, and Tempest has, I think they have the better position. So GLuck has to come in, has the palm now, and the bunker. Ages to save. So many saving tools.
Oh, missing the charge there. That's unfortunate. Tempest just going to keep poking. Look at Lockdown's positioning. Just tossing out Qs and Ws. Orbs and missiles. Milky Way is going to absorb, but eventually he's going to take too much damage. Overlord, as you can see, he's trying to limit the shields here. Basically, everyone has to body block. He gets caught, though. He's found over here by Good and Sign. Force everyone away, and then
more
Lockdown.
People they send, yes, Lockdown. It creates space for Lockdown to poke.
This is actually really good observing, showing the pressure on Overlord, but also at the same time you can see on the other side of the screen how much Lockdown's able to do. 11k shields here. They lose Malfurion, however. Arrow does go wide here. Could have maybe been a bigger opportunity had they actually connected that. Tempest continues to have this 100% objective rate in this game. Having both back-to-back.
It was worth the sacrifice. A single kill. And they want to maximize it by pushing the top. They want to create more pressure and buy some time until Malfurion comes back. Gladly, GLuck has Hanzo, so clearing this can be an easier time. Yeah, but they're pushing the other lane instead.
Yeah, that's why they send Li Ming bottom, because Li Ming can kind of poke and zone Hanzo out a little bit. She can also maximize the value of this because the Immortal's clearing the wave, which means her missiles and orbs are going to connect with the structures. So she makes this a little bit more annoying while also grabbing that experience. Meanwhile, this is bad for Saron, has to bunker. Oh, the Twilight Dream 1 second too late to prevent the bunker. That would have been a kill if that connected, so good idea by Hyde, just a little bit off with the timing. And Tempest is just going to rotate up and take this camp. They didn't get either keep, though, because they lost that member, so huge win there for GLuck. Could have been much worse. Lockdown wants that mana.
Not the biggest gap we've seen, and with Hanzo, they have the camp times. Only Li Ming coming down, so this one will be GLuck's, very like 100%. And Saron has to be careful now, though. Bunker is still on cooldown.
Yeah, 10 seconds. He's being so aggressive. I think he's trying to bait as the rotation comes up. But it's not a good time for that. This is such a close game, actually. GLuck has really made strides to improve. This has been a fantastic series.
Their rotation is a lot safer. Their teamwork is on point.
Their drafting is creative, but also intelligent.
Either super in the meta or super... Some weird picks. Not really the most meta pick sometimes. But all the nearest hero rework put into play did not really work out. But in this case, they're really keeping that Hanzo with the double support. So they're going back to what they were good at, also combining with some of the newer ones that came into Heroes of the Storm.
This is I think this is just going to be a neutral trade on camps. Actually, the red one, or sorry, the blue side not even available yet. Tough to invade for GLuck. They're this far away. Just grabbing Soak instead. But they are going to have to, again, contest with Tempest better positioning and poke. If they get halftime done before GLuck can actually contest, this is going to be a bad situation. Okay, they get over here, prevent the halftime, because if this switch happens, they're like already in a real bad spot.
Yeah, Li Ming was slightly away, Sonya's still top, so GLuck is trying to put pressure in, knowing that Sonya's top lane.
Yeah, that's a good map read right there. Sonya is coming down, however. Milky Way again continuing to absorb these Li Ming shots. Ooh, he's caught between a rock and a hard place here with the stuns coming out from the Immortal. Gets away and avoids the root. That was scary. Blue Beetle's so good at actually keeping Sign off his back with these detainment strikes. The 2-second cooldown reduction on this patch can be a little bit easier. Saron's forced away. Dami's going to be doing the same. Overlord misses that arrow. Just trying to find ways to chip away at this Immortal, and he's been fairly successful. Lockdown needs to be careful of being this greedy. All it takes is one power slide and a scatter arrow. Karzim goes in, detainment strike, and then Li Ming could die. So he's just trying to get shots obviously off with his range, but if he ends up being too greedy, he could definitely pay for it with his life.
Hyde is right next to him, has that Twilight Dream available. Sonya's done clearing the bottom wave, actually clearing an extra wave, buying some time, so GLuck pressuring in now.
Okay, Overlord just trying to get in range to use those scatter arrows. Doesn't quite get in there yet. Milky Way is the target. Lots of damage coming through from Dami here. Bomb could be used here if it's necessary. Okay, all the damage here onto Blue Beetle from Good. Bunker, well placed. Total whiff on the stage, not the stage side.
The mosh pit from HGC, and that's going to be a lot more damage coming in. There's a Twilight Dream. No Bunker to save himself. Extra CC, but the Palm.
He gets the stuns though. Gets the stuns. That's all he needed. The Palm made it so he could go in there. Good's trying to get in here, trying to get these kills, trying to get these resets. He gets one. He's low on mana. He has no escapes here. Lockdown though with the great orb, but he's out of mana too. And it looks like finally GLuck is going to win an Immortal. Dami, it's stunned by that the Mortal too, so he's going to even waste some time here.
An impressive team fight from GLuck. They need that long team fight. At the cost of Hanzo's life, of course, they are lacking the damage as you see the race. Pretty slow even with the 4-man, with 2 supports.
Yeah.
But still, they were able to really fall behind. They didn't. If it was the old GLuck, they would have went all the way in from the beginning of the team fight and never really retreat back until they lose. But in this case, they knew what to do. When lots of the skills were on cooldown, they went back, had the Palm, and then, as you mentioned, had the Blaze. With the Jet Propulsion, started the CC. If they had Mosh Pit even saved for that moment, I think it could have been a much better situation.
Overlord would have lived. But still, Tempest respawn. It's not a great shield on the Immortal, so it doesn't do too much here. Double root here. We are going to have this fort going down, but what happens after that? We'll have to wait and see. Milky Way taking a ton of damage, but he does sustain through there with Blue Beetle's healing and his own. Coming from his E. Uh-oh, Dami gets detainment struck. He's stuck! GLuck are we going to game 5 here? We might be.
There's a stun lockdown, teleports over the wall. Immortal's down, but GLuck is 16. They can actually pressure in a little bit more, not all the way to the keep. But they have the minion wave, so they have some time right now.
All right, this wall's down. Scatter arrows just dismounting everybody. Bot push irrelevant.
Piercing arrow at 16 is so strong. Just poking away.
That's going to be the end of this push, though. Good wanted to dismount everybody. Not going to happen. Looks like Saron is looking to flank, catch members and try to punish them for grabbing this camp. Just going to be a small camp here. Not going to be too significant, but they have the 16 advantage. The piercing arrow there, they were able to do a ton. Now, I like this invade. This is going to give them so much more opportunities to threaten the keeps. The top push is going. They're looking for another one with this.
This is dangerous, though.
They have the bunker.
Slow choke point.
Have the bunker. Milky Way for an angle for a power slide. Here comes Sign with the mosh. It's a double. No interrupt until the Twilight Dream. Lockdown's out of there now. He's looking for resets. Good Aegis.
Terrajim solo, but
Palm?
the Palm connects, and the bunker actually saved him for such a long time.
Oh, the resets from Lockdown, though, doing so much damage. And Milky Way super low here. You know, Lockdown's going to get another reset. Oh, look at that, though. They push him back. Taken out there by Hanzo. Overlord gets the kill, and they're trying to get out of here. Ping's coming down. They're saying they want the chase. Good comes through here. If he gets one kill, he's going to have a ton of dash resets. Good dodge there from Karazim. And this ends up being a 2 for 2.
What an intense team fight right there. So many resets, but that bunker usage was actually super nice. Kerosene was very low, got into the bunker, and pumped himself right after. The root was there. Great counters from all the teams. The 10 members fought their best in that team fight. Good trade. Still, GLuck leading the game as they're really winning the sustain, and Tempest not really providing the burst that they need.
Waiting for the respawns before they try to contest with the Hanzo comp they have. It's very risky against the 3 that were alive to try to shed straight to the Immortal. Relic getting caught twice here. He's going to have Palm. They're not in a great position right now. Blaze coming down. Saren just cleared that top lane. Have an advantage. Dami is the target. He goes down here. Nothing to save him. Twilight Dream still needed 10 seconds before it could go off. And that is going to be a 1 fight already. Cocoon here just going to remove Hanzo's damage for a moment. What will Tempest do during this Immortal phase? Will they try to contest 4v5? Will they try to push waves? Look at this wave down here. There's just too much for them to try to push through. They can't go try to steal a keep or push through any sort of camps. They can't take the neutral camp. There's just too much of a wave here. Looks like GLuck might just be able to win this Immortal phase. 15 seconds until Sonya's back online.
And it goes straight to the keep. They have Hanzo. This will be done in a matter of seconds. Milky Way just buying some zoning.
Avoids the root.
This is going straight to the keep, Wolf. Are we going to a full series?
It looks like we might. Let's not count our eggs before they're hatched, though, because anything could go wrong with this.
Yes.
Hanzo, if he gets picked, the whole game could be over. Because if Tempest gets a team wipe, we're 18.5 minutes into the game, Tempest counters to win. All forwards down because of those early trades in the early game. So here comes this Immortal. Tempest, yeah. Signs looking for a play.
I think he was found, yes.
Yes, he was.
With that Q, nicely done by Blue Beetle.
Mindful of support, you've always got to look for things like this. Okay, Anubrok's still coming back though. They need to be aware of this. Look at Overlord's positioning. Far away from everybody. Mosh pit coming through, canceled here. There's the blow up. Okay, Bunker barely saves ETC, gets in there. It's gonna burst down though. Milky Way, insanely low, gets back. Immortal's hitting this keep now. Sign looking for the flank. They already used everything but the Palm. Palm's all they got left. Aegis as well. Here they come. Stun coming in onto Anubrok. Good. Dashing around here, but this get taken out is Blaze. Aegis and Palm at the same time. Both procced here. Blue Beetle has his heal. Barely gets it off right now. They cannot get wiped right now or they will lose the game. Sign. Very low gets caught. That was such a great face mount. Okay, this is a winnable game here for GLuck. The Immortal is on the core. But they cannot win it now. They're going to back off, clear camps, deal with this top push. Tempest still has a chance, but GLuck now has 20 advantage. They have a keep, so they have catapult advantage as well.
There was an intense moment. They had Aegis and Palm. Of course, Blaze dies. I think they had the miscommunication or thinking that the other one would actually use to save his teammate. Maybe. If that went off and had 4v5, maybe they could have pressured a lot more, get more kills, but Blaze died after. It was a long team fight, intense, but because of that, they got the keep. They're closer to 20. Tempest is actually far behind in this game now. Way too far behind.
They're going to have another chance for a team fight to come back and win it. But they can't afford any more mistakes.
Once Hanzo hits 20 with the play of the game, he can actually be a global, pushing the other lane and join the team fight with the arrow later on.
That's true.
That's also possible. And they already have the keep down.
Oh, that was a missed power slide, though. Milky Way threatening himself here. In terms of positioning, he's the target. Sign looking for some peel. Relic just harassing. Okay, big stun's coming through from the arrow. But look at this. Sign with a 3-man. Milky Way gets a good power slide, though. Hides a target. Huge silence up from the Twilight Dream. And that's going to be the kill on the Malfurion. He did a lot of silence there, but the bunker, once again, is going to mitigate the damage. Lockdown.
Sonic Arrow kill!
Sonic Arrow over the wall. That's probably going to be game. Storm Shield popped here just for safety, but all they're going to do is walk down the red carpet to victory now. Double kill here is going to secure the win. We are going to a Game 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a full series between GLuck and Tempest. What a game with the double support. They're trying to buy time, do what it can, Liming, and it's coming back. Mosh Pit just as a ceremony right now, of course. Going down, double support. They have the sustain. Blue Beetle might go down.
He does go down, 35% though. It's very, very low. 24. Palm's going to connect here. Bunker giving them some extra sustain here. The Death Mosh is going to be enough to stun them through. And that is going to be game over. The scatter arrow kill there at the end. GLuck brings us to a game 5. No one would have expected this result tonight. No one would have thought that we'd see a Probius draft into Medivh drafts into double support Hanzo for the win. But GLuck has shown us 4 different unique drafts here. They are ahead of the curve in this meta. If they could step up the execution to match their drafting, then they are going to be potentially a team that might be a playoff contender, might be a team that can make midseason brawl. Don't want to make that claim now, but going into this 5th game, Tempest is probably more shaken than they thought they'd ever be going into tonight's matches.
What a game. I was actually a lot more hyped than Tempest versus Ballistics that happened in week 6. Look at that. I think Hanzo actually picked the bullseye to hit that Sonic Arrow. I think the speed was upgraded. That's why it was so quick. What a crazy team fight we had in this game. And double support, in this case, Ariel Karazin keeping Hanzo alive. It worked. We were questioning the lack of damage possibly and lack of rotation because they had to keep Hanzo alive all the time. This game, Tempest, they could not really provide that burst damage because of the double sustain.
Blaze is so powerful too, man. We saw so much great control from Blaze with the bunkers and some of these engagements. So very, very well done. Lockdown had some great moments this game too, though. I really have to give him credit for some of the fights he was able to take in his confidence to seal the deal on that fight that was near the red side shaman camp.
And also Relic playing the Karazim after 16 like a Genji in a way and getting those kills was very impressive. And switching over to a double support and getting a kill himself. Oh man, what a series. And that BOE game was one of the legendary games, I would say.
We called Relic the one-trick Genji, and now he's shown us more heroes tonight than he has in his entire career, from the Karazim to the Probius. Very impressive stuff.